Yamaha, Yamaha, Yamaha. The Sooners with another OKPREP agenda commitment as three-star athlete Andy Bass from Heritage Hall has committed to the Sooners. So you know we've got to talk about it. We got to talk about what Coach Murray and them are doing and what they actually had planned for Andy Bass, because it's going to be intriguing what they're going to do with him. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Let's dive into Andy Bass and what he's doing. But before we do that, hop in the comments, let your boy know. How do you feel about this OKPREP agenda? How do you feel about the Sooners going after these Oklahoma athletes? Is that exciting you? Do you like that they're trying to go homegrown a little bit more just in case we get another big name player in the area that's available and we can lock them down? We'd love to hear from you all. If you like our content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so you can join this family. So let's dive into Andy Bass. You know we got to look at the film again. We got to talk about the athleticism of this guy because, man, Heritage Hall athlete be doing it. And he's not a little dude. Like, you got to look at these pictures. Let's check that out. As you can see, Andy Bass, about 5'11", roughly 200 pounds. Dude's stocky and swole for his size. Like, he's built like a collegiate, like an NFL corner, right? He's at the 200 pounders, at the 5'11". He's big and he looks strong. And the other thing to remember about him is he's just another track guy. So we're going after another of the track players, the fast guys, the runners, the ones that we can leverage in multiple positions. And that's the intriguing thing about Andy Bass, is that the Sooners wanted him specifically to put him in multiple places on the field. I remember one of his interviews he did, and I talked about this in a video about him a couple of weeks back, that he was saying that, you know, Coach Levy and Coach Murray was talking to him about doing all kinds of different like special sets for him, where he even comes in at quarterback, he can go in at slot, come in at running back, just have him all over the field, special teams, you name it, he can do it, because he's got not only the agility but the speed to make it happen. When he was at the Kansas camp, he ran a 4.37, what they calculated. You can see that on his Twitter page. You see him just running it, and it's pretty fire. He's that fast, and like I said, he runs track, so he ran a 10.56 wind-aided 100 meter, and that's how he won state in Oklahoma in 3A track. So 10.56 wind-aided, standard about 10.65. That's a wind legal. 10.65 is fast. I mean, yes, granted, we hear all these other numbers for some of these other kids running 10.1s and 10.2s and 10.3s, but a 10.5 and 10.6 is fast. So, yeah. And he's got that quick step ability to where he can get away from people with the agility and go. And so watching his film, it told me everything I need to know. Watching him this season, yes, he's currently a three-star athlete, but that does not mean he's going to finish that at the end of the season. He may move and propel himself up in some charts to where he's more closer to a fringe 3-4. I don't know. It depends on how he performs this season, but the man be putting up some not only video game numbers, but he's a beast at all the position he plays. So that's why Oklahoma wants it. And like I said, the OKPREP agenda is critical here, because the Sooners want to make sure they lock down as many in-state guys as possible, so that when the day comes that another big-time 4, big-time 5-star comes down the line, we're immediately looked at, because it's talked about a lot. Some of the big misses in-state that Oklahoma had at that level, like, I mean, 3-star running back Josh Jacobs is one that's recently we can talk about. And you can go all the way back to 5-star wide receiver Robert Meacham, which I went to high school with. He was a beast that Oklahoma missed out on. It was just one of those players we didn't go after. And so because of that, we've got to do a better job of it. And Brent Venables said when he got here, that was the one thing he wanted to do is recruit very well in-state, develop great in-state players. That way, down the line, it pays dividends. And as we speak now, getting Andy Bass, adding him to the class, and what's even funnier, he's coming in as a PWO. He's going to be a preferred walk-on. But with NIL, which is beautiful, we'll cover that. His tuition and everything, all of his schooling should be covered under NIL. So he's not going to have to worry about any of that. So add that component to it and still having space for additional players in the class. Whoo, buddy. This class is going to get loaded. Please believe. And don't sweat. Don't get it twisted. We're going to add additional great PWOs into this list of players. And this roster is going to be huge and stacked. We're going to have a ton of bodies in preparation of going to the SEC, because you're going to need them. You're going to get beat up. You're going to need to have some good players. You need to have some great practice players. You're going to have a list of all of it. And Andy Bass is just going to add dividends to the locker room. If he comes in and does some stuff like Gavin Freeman did last season, you know, his first touch led to an 80-yard touchdown. if Andy Bass can come in and do some stuff like that, I promise you, every single one of you fans will be excited. So don't get it twisted. Andy Bass is a gamer. He's a baller. He's going to be somebody good to have on this roster. So that's Andy, of course. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know what's your thoughts. We are in preparation for one big announcement this weekend, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm preparing myself just in case. I think I'm going to go live right after the announcement just to talk about either direction that it goes. And we're talking about Big David Stoney. He will be announcing his school at the IMG game on Saturday evening. So prep yourself for that. I will be around just to check that out. And so we're going to talk about it. All right. Well, YouTube says to watch one of these videos. I highly recommend it because, yeah, we're doing that thing. We're going to talk soon. Peace.